Ladies and gentlemen, please take a seat. The slaughter is in motion. Welcome to Celluloid Slaughter with your hosts, James and Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Jim.
Joe. So, because Justice League is coming out very soon, we are doing a tour the Snyderverse.
Oh God.
I'm trying to come up with a name. I think I'm gonna call it the countdown to the Snyder Cut in the description. So that's what this week and next week will be. And to explain for people listening, Joe used his one veto that he gets every year.
I have no idea what this count system you're using means.
The count system. Well, because originally it was going to be in the 3 weeks leading up. We were going to watch Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and Justice League. Now Joe used his one veto that I explained to him last year that we have to not watch Man of Steel. Now Joe, you cannot say no to any movies we watch for the rest of the year now.
I didn't care to see it again, and I didn't care to see this again. But I've never seen the Ultimate.
Yeah, you've never seen the Ultimate Edition of Batman vs Superman. That's what we watched.
And I gotta say, I wish I didn't see this.
Joe. So I think Joe's brought it up, but Joe's least favorite movie that he's seen in theaters is Batman vs Superman.
Also,
which I would say I think we've seen some worse movies in theaters together.
And
off the top of my head, I can't recall any.
A high contender was also a bad theater experience was Spider-Man 3.
Wow, you hate this more than you hate Spider-Man 3 seeing it in theaters?
Oh yeah.
The fuck is wrong with you?
Sam Raimi has a bit of a charm to him, you know, even if his movie's bad. But this, watching it now and seeing the extended scenes and more storyline,
Joe compares it to the
Daredevil. It feels like I'm watching Daredevil uncut version, which if you were to go on IMDb and look at their reviews that are posted, they're made by the studio and fake accounts. I stand by that statement.
IMDb?
Yes.
That's weird.
Yes, it's very strange. About 10 years ago, I watched it, and then I went online and everything was these fake accounts posting these weird-ass reviews, and they all had the same type of language.
Oh, like they all wrote it in the same
structure,
way.
and like it was like, this is very suspect.
Rotten Tomatoes,
But yeah, that's how I felt about this, with the extended crime scenes and the...
Right, there was a finishing of character plots that were left empty, like the witness who said that Superman came and destroyed the village. She admitted that she had been lying, but nobody listened to her because she seemed hysterical, to which she was then taken as a loose end by Lex Luthor and killed.
Right, but honestly, like, I see why they cut that, you know?
No, I get it.
In this,
but it explains the story and everything that she was lying in it, because in this version we see that Anatoly's men burn the bodies and everything, and then leave, and then we see like the military come in and everything, which we don't see in the regular version, which is like her like then the government came and they took people and everything, which were all lies that she was paid to say.
Okay. Yeah.
There's explanations of that, and then it was like what happened with the guy that got branded by the bat, why he got killed even though he wasn't in a Gotham prison. Joe's making a very grimace-like face as I'm explaining.
You do a lot of defensing of things. It was fun talking about during the movie.
Joe really tried to get me riled up in some places, which I've explained because Joe, you were talking about before to my friend that I do another podcast with. He has said that he's trying to figure out what can get me angry about topics. Like how I explained to him, like the former and latter thing got you very upset.
Jim, don't bring it up.
Just let me mention the words.
Don't even say it.
He's trying to figure out what can get me like that, like you were with that. And he thinks trying to like talk about Batman vs Superman or like this type of stuff will get me that.
I really don't think this movie is all that great or anything.
I really like it.
And honestly, there's some things that were cut that I think that should have been in a movie. Like
the Steppenwolf scene.
Right. How long was that?
100% should have been in it.
10, 15 seconds?
I think it's because the studio didn't like the design. Because they changed it when Joss Whedon like took over. They're like, okay, perfect opportunity. Make him look as bland and shitty as possible.
compared to the
this awesome like giant metallic kind of guy. I like it.
I love the expression on your face when you every word you use to.
I really love the giant menacing look that this Steppenwolf has compared to just the really
it's
like human looking one.
It's so obnoxious. Yeah, both are bad, but this one looks so over the top obnoxious with all the spikes. Like, Jesus Christ, what is this? Like, yes, we have turned it edgy.
No, it's a very good stray away from the comic book design, which.
But honestly, they could have put this Steppenwolf in, and then other ones. The character designs change movie to movie all the time. Look at Godzilla in the recent ones. They changed the dorsal fin design like multiple times.
Right. Pretty sure it's changed again with probably Kong vs. Godzilla coming out.
Right. It's become I think it's slowly becoming more and more old school, like regular Godzilla, which is really cool. But
apparently, I learned there are bones of other Godzilla characters in King of Monsters. When the nuke goes off in the temple and it does the wide shot, you can see bones of other Godzilla monsters there, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, but also super sad.
Yes, Jim. That's where he gets the axe.
Right.
From a dorsal from a dead Godzilla. From the Hollow Earth. Can't wait for that.
I love that people don't understand how that King Kong was a baby, by the way. People don't understand that. They think he's still, like, super small, but it's like, no, that was, like,
you realize that was
40 years ago.
They were in Vietnam, and they were doing all that stuff back then.
Right.
That was supposed to give you a clue on, okay, there's going to be a time jump.
John C. Reilly says to your face, oh, he's just a baby now. He's still growing. Yes. Says it right to the viewer's face.
It's like Cloverfield. It was a baby monster the whole time.
Right. And then it
was being clumsy. It was doing everything, but it wasn't very good at it.
Right. And then in Cloverfield Paradox, we see that it's grown up. And we'll never see anything more.
Don't say any more. But, with Kong, there's a theory that they say he got radiated from going into the Hollow Earth. Probably. And grew even more.
Oh, I'd bet.
Why not?
I'd also bet that probably, like, once he killed, like, all the skull crawlers.
Yeah.
I bet that, like,
the flying
I was going to
snake?
say, he would be able to go into the Hollow Earth because they left all those holes that they came out of and everything. He would be able to get down there to go to it, and that's how he gets the Hollow Earth.
Yeah. You know what I love about that movie is it's more entertaining and funner than the movie that we're here to talk about.
I disagree. I say they're both just as fun for different reasons.
Okay. Agree to disagree. I do like all the things that gave me cringe and induced seizures when I watched it during the movie. Including the computer scene with...
Me and Joe do agree on a couple things here that
with
some
Wonder
parts
Woman
should not have
looking
been done.
at her computer and making this expression.
I love, by the way, when she says, like, it's got a military encryption. I'm like, it's because you're trying to hack it on a fucking laptop.
Yeah.
You're on a laptop trying to do this.
There's some real bad things like that in the movie.
Lex Luthor using everyone's symbols.
It feels very rushed with that, especially, but they're really trying to make Justice League happen.
Right. I'm happy that they didn't try to do a practical suit for Flash when they did him time traveling.
Yeah. And
that it was purely CG because they're like, look, it's probably going to change movie from movie, so let's just throw like a bunch of armor on him.
You don't even see it. Yeah. You know?
I remember when this first came out, I was in school and I was talking to a guy and he's like, that's Red Hood. And I'm like, no, it's Flash. You can see the symbol. He's like, you can't see the symbol. And I had to explain to him how like you can see it and everything. What are you
I'm trying to put this Waxwork Records card up next to your computer, but it's fell. We're not sponsored.
You don't like the nightmare sequence?
Not really. It doesn't really seem to have a place in this movie. If it was on its own, and
it was its own thing.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, it's supposed to be like this reinforces Batman's beliefs about Superman, but for the wrong reasons. It's supposed to be that he's supposed to stop Superman from becoming this, not literally try to kill him.
So Superman's going to become like this fascist dictator who's going to have these militarized like soldiers
because he gets put under Darkseid's rule, and this is his world to rule. Instead of like a parademon army, he gets humans and parademons.
Then the movie repeats itself by doing the same exact switcheroo type action sequence when it comes down to the framing of the people in the scene where there's soldiers in suits, then they turn on each other. Just like at the beginning of the movie.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
It was...
I didn't even realize that it had the same sort of shots. Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, it's the same action.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I'm like, okay, well... He did it twice already. The first time, he got me. Second time, I'm like... Should I care about these guys that Batman is really, like, trying to save?
Yeah, they're all his
Who are they?
They're survivors. They're survivors.
Like,
it's the apocalypse. They're the army of the dead.
Mad Max. I would like to see that though. Like, if they gave it its own time, there's so much push.
You said it. You wanted that to be Justice League, Joe, right?
I would like that to be a Justice League.
And that's what Justice League Part 2 was supposed to be.
Yeah.
It was all supposed to lead up to the Nightmare timeline where Justice League 2 happens, and then they'd go back in time and stop it.
It seems like Zack Snyder messed that up for himself.
He messed it up?
Yeah.
Did he mess it up, Joe?
Yeah.
I don't know if he messed it up. I think it's more the fucking studio that said, ooh, that's a bit too dark. What if we, made it a bit more lighter?
They were trying to compete
with Marvel,
which it's a very hard marketplace to compete in right now.
They're trying to copy those movies while, taking... It's why Suicide Squad went wrong.
But Jeff Johns is responsible for...
Jeff Johns is a big reason for why a lot of stuff is
Josh Whedon and then the betrayal and everything.
Wait, how do you say his name?
Joss.
Okay, I thought you were saying Josh. I'm like,
no, Josh.
Is his name Josh?
No, Josh.
Josh Whedon with two S's.
Joss Whedon.
Josh Whedon with two S's.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jeff Johns is part of the reason and everything. He's the reason why Green Lantern has a CGI suit and stuff. It's he's been behind a bunch of DC movies, and it's like, if you ever think there's something wrong here, if you watch the behind the scenes, it's almost always he's the one that's making that choice.
Yeah, with this one, I walked out of this one, the Ultimate Cut, feeling almost nothing, and that's a good improvement compared to my complete
disdain, hatred for...
I can't even put the words to the emotion, and it was like... The original it felt like a real waste of time. But maybe I've grown, I've learned not to hate things like that so much and get so...
I will say, I did let your feelings of the movie change my feelings of it when I was a kid. I remember I used to let, if you had an opinion on the movie, that'd be my opinion of the movie, because I didn't know anything about movies, so I'd watch, something with you, and how you react is how I react.
Let me show you some real cinema. Let's watch Ghost Dog.
And then I rewatched Batman vs. Superman a couple years later on my own, and I realized, I actually like this movie.
You
keep bringing up Ghost Dog. What the fuck?
That's what I want us to watch.
What is Ghost? Okay, we'll talk about that after. We actually have to talk about a movie for once.
All right. Well,
we can't just skip over in the first 5 minutes. And
I want to talk about Space Jam 2.
We'll get there. We have an hour. We'll get there.
Oh God. But how do I put this? You have this ability to defend the Martha moment, and I don't.
I will defend the Martha moment.
How dare you?
You don't understand it.
I understand it completely.
I understand just fine.
There's nothing wrong with me. Sir, you need to calm down. I am calm.
But it's a reflection of Batman becoming the killer. Joe, chill. And you're like, well, he's killed the whole movie. That's not the point.
Okay, so he has this reflection. He doesn't want to become the killer. Then the very next scene, he becomes even bigger killer.
That's what I'm fucking saying. He doesn't want to become the killer that kills another Martha. If he kills Superman, he lets Martha die.
He doesn't know that. All he's
hearing
is...
Because he's hearing
his mother... All he is hearing...
He doesn't know his mother's name is Martha.
All he is hearing is, don't let Martha die.
He doesn't know his mother's name is Martha.
And he's
hearing that, and all he can think of is his own mother.
And Batman, in his head, he is like, motherfucker, I'm not letting anyone die, and who the fuck is this Martha you're talking about? Because that's my mom's name.
Yes, that is how Batman talks.
I hate his voice. I hate Batman's voice.
You don't like the modulator?
Not at all.
You prefer Christian Bale?
Yes, 100%.
The Christian Bale's...
That There were a few moments where it gets out of hand.
It's fucking college humor the whole time. We're just going,
It gets out of hand sometimes, but it works.
The modulator works.
It sounds stupid. It sounds so stupid. It's like, it's worse than watching Spider-Man 2 and him saving Aunt May and Aunt May not knowing his, like, isn't that?
Oh, I thought you were talking about, like, the new Spider-Man 2, and I'm like, does he save Aunt May in that?
No, but the voice in the Sam Raimi one.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Where he's just talking normally.
Yeah.
I am Spider-Man, hi.
But
Peter?
I think this cherry gave me the leather on it or something squeaking. It sounds...
Right, look, I got that chair and I realized it is the noisiest thing ever, so I switched out with you where I now have the silent chair and I get to move around all I want without making a noise.
I see how it goes. But the Martha moment is like, oh, he has a mom too.
That's not the comparison. That's not the comparison. No.
Let me go down.
I was talking.
Let me go down.
I was talking.
He's going down this route of mindset. Oh, he has a mom. My mom's name was Martha. His mom's name is Martha.
Did we just become best friends?
Yes, that's what that's becoming.
That's not what the scene was, though.
So you're saying he doesn't want to become the killer, but then the very next
No,
action...
you're not hearing what I'm saying. You're just saying...
The whole time he's been killing people. He has a sniper rifle hanging from the docks.
He doesn't shoot somebody with it. It's a tracker, Joe.
He's been killing people the whole movie.
He only killed people in the car, in the chase scene.
Okay. Well, before the movie even began, when he's Batman, throughout the years, he's become a killer. Right?
After Robin dies, it's implied that he's become a killer.
Yes. So you're telling me...
That's not what I'm saying, though.
So you're telling me all that happened, that he...
No, you're not letting me say what I'm saying. No,
I'm going with what you're saying.
You didn't let me finish what I was saying, though.
Robin, death and everything makes him a killer. Then he hears, like, the Martha thing, and he's like, oh, I don't want to kill anymore. I've been doing it since Robin died. And I don't want to become that.
You're not letting me finish what I'm saying, and then you're going off on your little tangent here where
right,
you're like,
say what you gotta say.
This is the facts.
Say what you gotta say.
It's not because he's a killer that, like, he's stopping and everything. He's like, oh, I don't want to kill anymore. It's because he's realizing that he's become the man in the alley. He's become that killer when he hears his own mother's name being called. That's what he's seeing, and then he realizes that this is another him being made. If he lets this Martha die, then he lets his dream become true. That Superman becomes reality. If he can save Martha, he has a chance of stopping that from happening. He's trying to stop his dream from becoming true.
If he doesn't save Martha, that's what becomes a Superman.
Superman becomes that murderer, that
But it won't happen if he kills Superman, which he was in the process of doing.
The whole point is
that they could have killed Superman, and they could have killed Doomsday after Superman died with the help of Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman and Batman together would have killed Doomsday.
Would Wonder Woman have killed Doomsday?
She has a fucking sword that can go through his heart. Which they omitted from the 1984 Wonder Woman.
Yeah, for some reason they were like...
for some reason. No, for an exact reason.
Oh, yeah, Patty Jenkins didn't want violence, I remember.
And Patty Jenkins didn't want violence in the first Wonder Woman. And I will give you...
I completely forgot about that.
Yes.
I will defend the Martha scene.
And now I will have to defend the ending of Wonder Woman 1.
1984?
No, 1.
I'm fine with the one.
With the battle with the guy from Island Dr. Moreau.
You could just call him the god that he is, Joe.
All
Ares.
Right. Ares.
But before we get there, then Batman goes to save Martha and he kills.
I have no problem with that.
You have no problem with him killing there?
I have no problem with him killing at all.
So you're one of the people that doesn't have a problem with Batman killing at all?
He's not the same Batman that are seen in the other series.
Right. Okay. So this is a thing that
this
talk about.
This is a dark,
like a dark reimagining of him. And everything.
This is not after everyone he's known has died.
Right. Like all he has left is Alfred.
And Alfred seems unaffected emotionally by anything. The guy's a pure sociopath.
I mean, did you see how he was chopping that wood?
Did you see how he's groomed Bruce Wayne to emulate his looks,
right?
His fashion, his hairstyle.
I do think that this is of that sort of like style of where Batman sees Alfred as his father, after losing his parents, Alfred becomes the father to him.
Right. Well,
instead of just the friend or the family member.
It would be nice to get a background into the sociopath of who Alfred really is and what happened in Burma. We burned the forest down.
Imagine if that's just canon for every version of Alfred. That's the story that happened.
That's all you hear. You're like, whoa.
Whoa, Alfred? Are you the bad guy?
Yes, he was the British colonizers. That's some deep shit right there. You don't really think about like, oh yeah, the British, they took over the world and everything.
Hans, are we the baddies?
Yes.
I'm glad that you're not one of those people who are like Batman should never kill, because then it contradicts like their versions of Batman.
1989 with
Christian Bale's Batman. He's killed,
but like it's not directed upon Joker.
I mean, Joker wasn't killed, so it's fine. I mean, he definitely shot the fuck out of all those goons and know Talia, but
blow up some cars, but
the dump truck.
The Tim Burton Batman, he has guns on his Batmobile.
The Arkham games Batman, which everyone's like, oh, that Batman doesn't kill. In the first game, you can literally break people's necks by cutting the ropes. It would have been
cool to get that Batman movie with Ben Affleck.
Right. We'll probably never get it and everything. I think Ben's only like returning to do like cameo type of stuff now, but
yeah.
Which really sucks because I really liked him as Batman.
Well, him and Ana de Armas broke up, and
right.
She wanted to be Catwoman, which is very known. She auditioned for the role as well as and many other actresses, but since she didn't get it, he said, "Okay, I'm done. I won't do it," and he quit. And she can't be Catwoman. He can't be Batman.
I like how you're doing like a sort of Donald Trump impression without like trying to do the voice. You're like getting the speech just right.
I'm trying to get into the mindset of when Trump was tweeting about Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart.
What?
You don't know this?
What are you talking about?
Back in the day when they had their little breakup and everything, she cheated on him. Donald Trump was tweeting that Robert Pattinson should leave her, like she's no good, blah blah. Some weird stuff.
What year was that?
I don't remember.
Robbie, my boy, Robbie, you gotta leave this woman. She's not good for you.
Jim, you can really.
I'll treat you just right. Come to me, Robbie.
You get your hair cut like that? We gotta take you to that.
I used to have my hair like that, and then Trump became president. Everyone's like, oh, so you're a fan of him. I'm like, I've had my hair like this for years. Where it was all in the front and everything. Now I comb it back all the time.
You were like, I was really living up the Philip Seymour Hoffman look, but now I
was going for a young Jesse Plemons.
Yes.
Who? Well, I don't know. I think he was in Breaking Bad once. But yeah, those are our thoughts on Batman vs Superman. Next week we will.
I feel nothing.
Oh, we will have to endure Joss Whedon's.
I really want to watch Boss Level for the podcast.
We can watch it like independently, and then we can watch Justice League together, and then talk about them.
Okay, because I don't want to watch Justice League at all.
You already used your veto, Joe. We gotta stay committed to this. We're gonna be watching Justice League right after that too. Zack Snyder's Justice League. I mean.
Okay. All right.
Which. Oh.
Is it going
March
to theaters?
18th? I think it's only on HBO Max.
Okay.
And by the way, I think if I remember correctly, I just saw where it will be available for people in the EU to watch it and stuff.
I don't care about the EU.
No, I know, but it's like a big thing. Everyone's like talking about how they don't know where to watch it. Brexit. But I'll put into the description where you can watch the extra.
So is it going to be chapters, like episode-wise?
It's not going to be split up in episodes. It's going to be.
But they have the chapters.
It's going to be split up into chapters, yes. Okay. But it's not going to be like you have to watch it episode by episode.
So it's 4 hours?
4 hours, and there's an intermission, I think.
So you sent me a text of a video.
Of everyone. I sent you this a while ago, but I resent it to you because I was going through like my phone, like clearing some stuff out, and I found it. I'm like, oh, blast from the past when like Zack Snyder's Justice League had just been announced as actually happening. It was all these like news media channels. It's a really funny video, and it's like then all of a sudden they're like tanking the moment it like comes out.
Yeah.
DC Daily stopped being a thing, which sucked. I really liked it. It was always like good insight into like stuff happening.
The thing is the Snyder Cut didn't exist entirely. I'm going to say that very carefully. It didn't exist.
Yeah, tiptoe around. You made a face where you're like staring off as if someone's like holding a gun to you. Like, careful of what you say, Joe. I'm gonna have a gun come off on screen.
Who knows? But it didn't exist in what we think it does. You know, it's not a complete cut. There's some sequences that are fully done. You know, they were just need to be sent to the colorist and shit and edited.
Yeah, like the Martian Manhunter scene. That was one of the things that had to be filmed and stuff.
But the whole idea that he is remaking the movie with the context of how it was perceived originally.
Right, like how he wanted to initially.
I've never seen it.
Well, he never apparently saw Joss Whedon's Justice League.
But has he now?
No, I think he's only using his footage, so he's like literally avoiding anything Joss Whedon had done.
Which makes sense.
Which, by the way, somebody put side by side the scenes of the Amazon scene where Steppenwolf is attacking the Amazonians.
Yeah.
Or what Zack Snyder released of that scene and what Joss Whedon did with it. Sorry, I got a burp. No, okay, never mind. I'm just going to cut around that. And it does have a complete different sort of tone change as like well as coloring for like backgrounds and stuff. But like in Joss Whedon's, Steppenwolf swings at one of the Amazonians and they just go flying off their horse. But in Zack Snyder's, they literally get cleaved in half. You see their blood like go fucking flying.
Yeah.
And it's like you can see like the difference between the two models is like Joss Whedon's, it's all like very smooth and round and it's like very simple. And Zack Snyder's, it's this huge hulking type of one that just goes swinging, like just does this like crazy spin and everything. And there is a difference between it. While it is still using those same type of like general animations, there is a difference in the way that it all looks and stuff. Like it's not just like the same footage and everything and then being like recolored like, okay, he has a black suit now and stuff. It's like, it's a very different tone. It's going to be a wider screen to look at it on, which is a big thing. I'm not going to go into the whole aspect ratio thing because I don't know anything about it. I just know it's going to be bigger to look at. And it's going to
It's in one of the IMAX ratios.
Right.
Where it's more vertical. So it's not like it's going to be like, let's say, the 4x3, like Lighthouse. You know how that looked?
It's not going to be what they did.
It's more like Dark Knight IMAX.
Wasn't 4x3 what they did The Simpsons when they moved it over to Disney Plus?
Yeah, but there's like a setting thing they changed
right.
after some...
I just wasn't sure what that one was, but
yeah.
I don't know anything about aspect ratios. I just know that it's being changed because Zack has a certain way he does it, and it got changed for Joss Whedon's one where it like made everything like the super thin like bars on the top and bottom. I'm just excited that it's finally coming out. I'm so glad that he's finally getting this film that he's like spent all this time on to come out.
I'm gonna be happy that it comes out. That way, we don't have to argue about this anymore. And
we don't have to argue about it
anymore. And I can go on to living my life. Yes, it did suck.
March 18th, we'll see.
We shall see.
I'm so excited for like what we'll be seeing that's been changed, all the deleted scenes that we didn't get.
I'm hesitant, but moderately.
I'm excited to see what the Joker's like because from what little we've gotten, I'm not sure how different the performance will be, but I'm excited nonetheless.
On the other hand...
Oh, did I tell you Deathstroke's going to be the nightmare sequence?
No, you did not.
Oh, okay. So somebody had taken pictures of like all the Zack Snyder's Justice League stuff, and it was Deathstroke armor, and it was very different from the end scene where we see Deathstroke with Lex Luthor, which was partially a scene that Zack Snyder had filmed, but then it got like refilmed again with Joss Whedon, and it's the same armor, but it's got a lot of differences. Like, it's all, like, torn up and cut. It's got, like, ammo pouches and pistols on it. And it's what that mohawk that Joe Manganiello has. That's where he's going to have it in that scene. But then, like, he's going to have his normal hair in the other scenes.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see him show up and what he'll be doing. I think he'll be part of, like, Batman's posse and everything.
Huh.
Which is, so far... I think also Mara's going to be in it. Because I know Mara... from Aquaman, Amber Heard.
Oh, Amber Heard. Oh,
that's a whole thing.
She got fired from
fucking
Aquaman 2?
Good, dude. I think they're gonna keep her in Zack Snyder's Justice League though because they don't have anyone to replace her yet. But after that, she's out of it. Amelia Clarke.
She's in it?
No, I want Amelia Clarke to be the new Mara.
Interesting.
Because it's like that's an upgrade.
Yeah.
And it's already her and Jason.
Jim, check your phone. Oh, yeah. Game of Thrones.
Right.
Nice. Now I understand.
Uh-oh. What did you send me? Christopher Nolan, after watching Joss Whedon's Justice League, Zack doesn't know. He can never know. Okay, that's pretty funny.
All right. Now let's get to the real talk of the town.
Space
Jam. Is it Lola Bunny? Is that her name?
Yeah, Lola Bunny, who was introduced, I think, actually in the original Space Jam first, and then became a recurring character after that.
Okay. So the image that everyone's using to compare the two and get offended is not even a still from the movie. It's a still from some fan art.
Ugh.
Where they increased the size of the... I don't even want to say these things.
I talked about this with my friend, by the way,
so
yesterday, and I avoided it as much as I could say it directly.
Andy Signor, the infamous Andy Signor from... I can't even say it with a straight face. The infamous Andy Signor from Screen Junkies, now on his channel, Popcorn Planet, made a video, and I couldn't finish it because it was so hilarious and totally tiptoeing around the point.
They took away her tits.
No, not even that. They wanted to just focus on the midriff of her clothing.
Oh, because they gave her a jersey?
Because they gave her a jersey that
instead
was
of a crop top?
A loose jersey, and they were so upset, why can't she just have a crop top like she did before? That's not the problem. If you were to just cover the top half of the photo with your fingers. I want you to do this in the video.
I'll add a PNG of someone's fingers like this.
Yeah, and then you just have the bottom half of both characters side by side. The one on the left of the fan art, the sexualized one, is not the body of a cartoon bunny at all. It's... The legs are defined and shaded in this sexual look, and what the fuck? But then if you look at the next one from the new movie, it's a fucking bunny rabbit. And people was
welcome to Celluloid Slaughter, folks, where we determine the difference between an animated bunny and human fucking legs.
What's wrong with people? Yes. Did you not realize how many people saw Lola Bunny as a kid watching that movie?
Yeah, you realize this is an awakening for a lot of people, right? This is where they realize, oh, maybe I am a furry.
All right, Jim, I got the perfect meme send you to throw in there.
Yeah, I'll throw it up right now.
Right.
Oh, God, I gotta go look at it. The fucking Christopher Nolan one's pretty good, though. Are we gonna be done with the talk about that now?
Yeah.
I didn't even know they were making a reboot. Is it?
Yeah, it's a rebookle. Is that what's called? A reboot sequel?
Oh, what? I'm looking at this now. Yeah, you can't even. There isn't even anything there. It looks the exact same. It looks the exact same.
That's a still from the movie. Now I'm gonna find.
This better not awaken anything to me. That's also a really weird scene from Community Jesus. In general, Joe. Oh no, what did you find by Googling Lola?
I mistakenly typed in Lola Bunny and just looked at the images, and there's some choice pictures.
Oh yeah, Joe. The people are gratuitous. I can't even see what that is. Oh.
Don't even describe it, Jim.
Oh no. I'm just gonna literally have a just censored bar just on screen and just our commentary over it. I'm not even gonna show what it is. Just no, it's not good. Oh god.
Oh god.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Wandavision, Jim.
Wandavision left me severely disappointed.
You know, it's a little underwhelming, but overall it's a good show.
Hey Joe, I did not care for the ending of WandaVision.
You didn't?
No, it's
It had this Dark Knight type ending where they can never know. that
right.
That speech. Again, and I was wait. Let's rewind a little bit.
Hold on.
She what did she sacrifice?
Her fake family that she created.
She enslaved these people.
Right, no. I explained this to Johnny. Wanda's not the good guy.
No, this is her growing into a villain. It's great.
Right.
I love it.
Oh, I love it. I love that she's becoming a villain, but I hate that Monica is trying to twist it as Wanda actually sacrificed something. No, no matter what her feelings are, your feelings for her were not real. They were real to me. Force Unleashed. But these are fake people that she had created from her own mind. They were not real in it. Even in the House of M comic, like a Hawkeye tries to point out to her, like, this isn't real, to which then Wanda kills Hawkeye.
Right.
Which, by the way, fucking bullshit that they didn't bring Hawkeye into this at all.
Yeah.
They fucking overlook his character towards her throughout the entire movies. Like, Civil War and Age of Ultron acknowledge Hawkeye's relationship with Wanda. They acknowledge that he has a friendship with her, that he's this sort of mentor figure to her, that he's this protector of her as well, especially with Civil War, where he was just trying to get her out of the house while fighting Vision.
Yeah.
Knowing that he would lose just as long as she could, like, get out and everything. But, they completely ignore that. I wish he was brought in by, like, S.W.O.R.D. to try and help her, and then they would, like, turn on him, which would then have her turn on him, which would cause his hearing loss.
Yeah.
For his series.
Okay.
Where she, like, accidentally deafens him and everything. That would have been good. Oh, like, they bring in the drone and shoot it, and then, like, it goes off, like, next to him and everything. We're already writing a better something. But, we're... I wish they would have done more, and I wish they would have explained what the fuck happened with White Vision.
We will see. Season 2.
I don't want a Season 2, though. It was good on its own. Falcon and Winter Soldier, Season 2 for that. That's a show that gets a Season 2.
No. It's not even out yet. How dare you?
Because it's that type of show, I'm saying. WandaVision is a one-season type of show, and that is a good thing.
This seems like it could be a good Season 2. There's so much story that can take place and build upon her character now. And then the whole Mephisto is like, we're building up to it. All the things they led to.
But I want that to be in Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness.
Maybe Nightmare will be in that.
That's where it fits.
We won't know until Doctor Strange 2.
Where does fucking White Vision... They tell us what happens with Monica.
Well, it's the same problem I'm thinking that you had with this that can be analogized to Hulk. Where'd Hulk go?
Where in what?
In end of Age of Ultron. He just took off.
Right, just fucking took off, and like we found him in Ragnarok, and he's like, "Oh, I've been here." It's like
they're building.
You were not here.
No,
the writers were just like Planet Hulk. And
they're
like,
building a franchise. They have to keep things coming, Jim.
Up there.
I told you.
You told me.
I
didn't want to believe it because I was like, I don't want that to be the transition. I don't want it to be that it's a fucking Skrull.
Did I not tell you?
That's what gets Monica to space. I want it to be like some fucking character that doesn't have any stakes in her life.
They've already established the Skrulls in space with Spider-Man. They're gonna keep going with that. The whole sword.
By the way, I still haven't rewatched Spider-Man to see that end credit scene.
What? Oh,
the Nick Fury one. I've never seen that scene or what it looks like. That it's revealed that they're Skrulls. I have no idea what that scene's like. I don't know why, but I've never had a reason to go back and watch it. I really don't like Far From Home.
I like Far From Home if it wasn't a Spider-Man movie.
Okay, yes,
but
it's not a Spider-Man movie.
It's a knockoff John Hughes type movie.
Right, and that's exactly what Homecoming was too.
Yeah.
Oh God, is this one gonna be a fucking John Hughes movie again?
Yeah. Well, they said that from the beginning. But the thing is, Jim, why do they have to have home in the title?
I don't know. I don't know what John Watt's obsession with the word home is. They even released a picture where they came to the conclusion of what the name was. And like when they were doing the fucking bit like, oh, we all got teased on what their name was. And they did that. It's like everything had the word home in it. And they had Home Worlds, which I would have been fine with, by the way.
But it's like, come on, dude. Like, you're gonna...
You don't need to put the fucking word home in the title. It does nothing for it but make me just confused on what it has to do with anything. What do you mean, no way home? He's already in New York.
He's in an alternate universe, and he can't get home.
I'm just tired when watching these movies. I just feel tired when watching Marvel. Dad had us put on Endgame last night.
What?
I don't know. He thinks he hasn't seen it, so he put it on so he could see it. And while watching it, I saw what parts I liked, and every time it changed from that, it would go to a stupid comedic scene where I felt drained.
That's how I felt watching the Snyderverse.
No, I get it. I get it what it's like and everything, and I understand.
Overall, I'll give it a B. It was a good season of a show. Room for improvement.
Lots of room for improvement.
I like how it took its time in the first half of the show.
Right, and then it came to the last 3 episodes where everything was like, oh shit, we gotta actually tell the rest of the story.
But we didn't get the 6 hours that they promised us, did they?
No.
It would have been nice to have this episode be like 90 minutes long. Like a little short movie.
This episode felt really abrupt with everything that happened.
And I really didn't care for the Vision fight until it became like intelligent speaking.
Right. There was nothing to the fight.
They're perfectly matched.
Yeah.
Both of them, like both battles.
I don't know. I feel like it should have been like the fake Vision wasn't actually as strong, or just something was about him was flawed, other than the fact that
they're making it so they can make Paul Bettany a recurring character again.
No, I'm happy about that. I'm not happy about Paul Bettany being like,
he's going to be Vision
again.
Guest. He's not going to be White Vision, Liquid Metal Terminator. That's what it felt like.
I like the look of White Vision. He looks bulkier.
Walking from the fire.
His head has this like sort of like the mask that he wears.
It's different. Yeah.
It's raised, and like I like that he constantly has like this sort of like open, like kind of like a smirk to his face constantly.
Yeah.
He looks a lot more intimidating. His hands look fucking huge.
I didn't recall his size of hands.
When he was like holding Wanda's head, I'm like, Jesus Christ, he could crush her head, and then he begins to crush her head.
Insert image of Charlie's uncle in the courtroom sequence of It's Always Sunny.
Don't look at my hands. Why do you have large hands? I do not. Don't talk about my hands. Yeah. The episode had weird editing in a lot of places.
I only watched it once, but I'll have to go and look back at it.
I noticed it on my first watch, but I wasn't sure if I'd gotten it wrong, so when I rewatched it with Dad, I saw everything. What are you doing?
I was trying to find Golden Globe things that we haven't talked about.
Oh, yeah, we gotta talk about the Golden Globes, too. Real quick, Chadwick Boseman won.
Yes.
Happy for him and everything.
No Man Land.
Did No Man Land win?
I believe it did. It did.
Before we get into that,
no more.
When Darcy crashed into the director of Sword,
yeah,
he had this like weird like look on his face, and what I'm guessing is that was done before the crash was supposed to happen. That he would like hear a car honk and then look over and made that face. Then the crash would happen because it like flings him all around. He's like, and then it comes back to him. And he's just, just makes that dumb like face. And then like when the town's being deleted, we see that it's right at the border of their house, and it's nighttime. But then we cut back to the city, and it's in the middle of the city, and it's daytime. But then we cut back to their house, and it's even further away from their house. And it's just.
I didn't catch all that, but I feel like you're digging too deep into a cartoon that's made to be just...
A cartoon, Joe?
It's a cartoon.
It is. It's almost entirely CGI, especially that scene where the house gets deleted. But speaking of that, when Paul Bettany goes like, I have to ask, I have to know, what am I? I was like, the only reason he's asking this is to explain why he's even here for the audience.
Yeah.
His character would not ask. He wouldn't have asked and everything, but they explain that he's a part of the Infinity Stone that lives inside her, and then instead of like going back into her when he's deleted, he just kind of like fades to sparkles. And I kind of know this, but like all of that power didn't come back to her. It just came back to that origin point where she was when it happened.
Yeah.
Which I guess sort of makes sense. But also she walks out of the town instead of getting in her car that was still in the driveway and just driving away.
Buick.
Fucking Buick. She throws on her hood in a dramatic way, talks to Monica, where they have the whole, like, they'll never know what you sacrificed for him scene. That, again, doesn't make sense, as we discussed. And then we cut the Wanda in a... Because we already talked about the Monica scene. But we cut to Wanda, Jesus Christ. Wanda in a cabin in the woods where she has an illusion of herself on the front porch drinking tea while she's in the back reading a Book of the Damned?
No, she is astral projecting herself reading the spells.
Okay, I didn't pick that up at all.
She's just chilling, sipping tea, and getting all the tea of the book in the universe while she's just hanging out, you know?
Right.
She's becoming powerful and learning more. Because she, like the other witch said, oh, you're not... You know
Is it
so
just
little.
me, or did Agatha look different the moment that she like had the other clothing on?
They did makeup to her.
Right, like her face looked.
They did witch
thicker.
makeup, Jim. Witch makeup makes the brows and like the eyes look very defined. And
her like,
yeah,
because normally like her face like just looked like square.
No,
all of a sudden.
It wasn't CGI. It was just like.
Oh,
shading.
I was just thinking like they put
shading.
like weird like blocks on her like her face that made it like more sharper outwards. I'm like, that's
no,
weird.
They just did a little bit of shading to her face to make it look.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a weird makeup choice, to be honest.
It was just a witch look. But yeah, I was getting vibes of her being like Hulk when he's in like isolation in a cabin, middle of nowhere.
Right.
And he learns the meditation and all that, and then his, that same thing. Versus,
wasn't it like wasn't like counting down like 0 days since lost of control?
Mm-hmm.
It was a good ending, by the way, for that movie.
Yeah.
Oh man, I want that. I want Ed Norton back. Eddie, come back to us. I don't want Mark Ruffalo anymore. I know he's a good actor, but Marvel's not giving him a chance.
Yeah, they don't do what they should have done with him. But
moving on, from WandaVision.
See anything lately?
It was an alright season. Did I haven't really watched anything lately other than WandaVision. It's just been kind of like week to week, waiting for it to come out and everything.
Okay. I watched a Lawrence Kasdan movie from the 1990s. Grand Canyon. And I gotta tell you, wow. This must have been a passion project because he also directed it. He's known for his script writing and like relationships with George Lucas and Steven Spielberg with
was he one of the people in the dock in Indiana Jones with George Lucas and where they were standing in like the caps and everything?
I don't know, but he wrote Star Wars.
This guy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And then he returned to write.
Was he the one that wrote the good dialogue?
Force Awakens, he returned to do that too.
Oh, but not for the other ones?
I don't know. But
that might explain
him
it.
And his son wrote something. What was it? It had to be one of the new stars.
What's his name?
Lawrence Kasdan?
Lawrence Kasdan.
I think it was just Force Awakens.
Which way of Lawrence is that spelling?
I don't.
Because there's the LAU
Jim,
and
just
LAW.
type it in. It'll correct it. And autocorrect will find the right answer. Lawrence Kasdan, Star Wars. It will find your answers. But he made this movie Grand Canyon, and it's really, really weird. It's like a dated look on how crime is going to escalate in LA, and the movie landscape that reflects the violence. And Steve Martin is this director that makes his violent action movies, and he gets mugged and he gets shot in the leg. And they take his Rolex and shit after like offering him to take the Ferrari, takes the watch and shit, and he thinks he like changes his whole mindset on things. Then there's multiple other characters, Danny Glover.
That sounds oddly familiar. Like take the Ferrari and then he takes the Rolex.
Yeah.
That.
It's interesting because it's dated, and it feels like a time that's lost, and the time that they thought was going to happen never came, of this rampant escalation of crime, but instead something much worse.
Oh, we didn't talk about the Capitol in Batman vs Superman.
Oh yeah,
the whole Capitol sequence.
Yeah, that Capitol sequence just cut this in
very ahead of its time.
Yeah, very ahead of its time. Iconography, visually,
about 4 years too early.
Visually very comparable. But yeah. Then I also watched Nomadland. I felt nothing. I understand why people like it.
What is that? What is it about?
It's about people that live in van life and shit. And Frances McDormand, she lived in Empire, Nevada, and then some company shut down, so basically everyone that lived in that town like had to move, and that zip code no longer existed, so she has to start working for Amazon, and she's not making enough to live. It's a social commentary, but it was pretty good. I just didn't really care for it.
Okay.
It feels like more of a documentary than anything.
I got it. The films. He has written The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, he's a good
Empire Strikes Back.
Which new Star Wars did he write?
He wrote The Force Awakens.
Okay, him and his son wrote
and
Last Jedi. And what?
Solo.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Such a weird.
Him and his son both wrote Solo. It was so bad.
Huh. It's weird. He wrote almost all of the Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
No, not Revenge of the Sith. It's weird. He wrote like the really good ones and then Solo. And I forgot, by the way, I did see something, Joe.
What?
And I was texting you about it.
Oh.
Blade Runner 2049 has come out on HBO Max, and I rewatched it.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I had a little bit of downtime. I rewatched it, and I realized this movie has an amazing fucking soundtrack.
Yeah.
Among the visuals, like the pair with it and everything. Like, in the end scene where Kay/Joe is chasing down the Wallace Corporation when they have Officer Deckard in their custody and everything. The fucking soundtrack that plays with it while you don't see what's exactly happening, but you see it from like Harrison Ford's perspective, where like the ships just starts crashing fucking around them and they have to turn around and like crash on the beach.
I only listen to Seawall at volume level 10.
Just listen to it all the way. Just, Joe, your eardrums. I don't care. Oh, just rocking out to it.
Yeah.
It's, man, the like the death of Coco, the mortician and everything, like the way that he just fucking dies, like, and like the actor, you know who it is. It's such a more violent death once you know who they are and everything.
I know.
Fucking gets chopped in the back of the neck, just fucking collapses immediately, choking on his like own blood and stuff. It's so horrific, but also like that's awesome that you can see like the real strength of a fucking replicant and everything. Like you see a replicant fight a replicant.
Yeah, I really love. I love in that movie.
I love.
She's such a good character.
She's a great villain, especially with how whiny she gets, and like you realize that she is just pining for the affection of Wallace. Like when she's explaining to the commissioner, I think that's who that lady was. The commissioner, like, I'll tell Mr. Wallace that you attacked me first, so I had to kill you. Like on the verge of like sniveling and everything. It's like she just wants Mr. Wallace's like love and everything. And it's Jared Leto. Like, he's so little in the movie, but he's like just, it's a perfect character for Jared Leto to be.
It's the one thing I didn't like. I was like, really? This fucking guy? This fucking
But it's a Jared Leto type of character is what I'm saying. It's like his
we were
type
robbed
of
the original directorial auteur spirit by the death of David Bowie.
Was David Bowie supposed to be Mr. Wallace initially?
Yeah.
That really sucks.
That really sucks. He was so perfect.
He would have been good for it.
He was so perfect.
Oddly enough, every time that I see like a role for Jared Leto, I'm like, David Bowie would be good for that. I always think of that sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially with like this sort of thing. But I did like how the character was. I like that it was this like sort of blind like preacher type of guy, which sort of is what Jared Leto is, with his island where he wasn't aware of what COVID-19 was.
That fucking guy.
I really liked Return of Harrison Ford, but you could really tell that like he was kind of throwing it in and everything. He wasn't giving it like he wasn't. It's just another role for him. It's like Star Wars. It's like I don't give a shit about Han Solo. I'm just Harrison Ford playing a character. It was good though. It was good to watch Ryan Gosling and Ana de Armas. Speaking of,
she was in that, huh?
I completely forgot that Ramona Flowers was in this. I forget what the actual actress's name is.
Ramona Flowers?
Yeah, from Scott Pilgrim. Who is the actress? She was Huntress in Birds of Prey. Kate. No. What's her name?
You're mistaken, Jim.
No, it's the same actress, isn't it?
No.
Yeah, it is.
No, the actress that's in this movie is the one from Dark Fate and from Black Mirror.
Oh my god, is that who that is? Yeah. Looks kind of a lot like them.
Not Ewan McGregor's girlfriend from the prequel, The Thing.
We're just naming every film that they're from. It's just like, how obscure can we get with these castings?
Exactly.
Oh man, I forgot that was her in Dark Fate. Good actress, bad film. That's my entire thoughts towards all of Dark Fate.
And I don't think I will.
That's my entire thoughts towards all of Dark Fate's film. It's just like, that's a good actor. Too bad they're in this movie. Oh, the guy who plays the new Terminator? He's a good actor. Too bad he's in this.
Was he a good actor?
Yeah. He was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as a Ghost Rider. He was really good.
That?
Yeah.
Oh.
I watched it for a while. I liked the first couple seasons, but like after that I kind of got like, okay, well, we're our own universe, so we're going to go crazy with it. Like, they brought in the Kree, people were on other planets in completely different timelines. And they start time traveling, and then they went to the future, and we're prisoners on a spaceship while Earth was a desolate wasteland. It's so fucking confusing and all over the place.
Yeah.
Oh. But, yeah, it was really fun to rewatch Blade Runner after all this time and everything, because I remember when I went and saw it in theaters, it was a very interesting experience. Because I think I've told you about it, but I didn't get to watch the movie entirely, Joe, because a guy had walked into the theater while being very shady with a backpack. So the entire time, and I had separated myself from sitting with Dad, because what Dad does when we go to a movie theater is just talk loudly at any given moment, and he just is very loud no matter what at a movie theater. So like I had to separate myself from him, and I had already gone up to like the top row of seats where it was empty, and this guy came in, like, sat, like, right in front of me, and I'm like, well, I can't go anywhere. So I had just, like, kind of kept, like, looking back at him to see what he was going to do, because people come into a movie theater with a backpack, you don't expect anything good. Because every time I came to that movie theater and somebody had a backpack from, like, the school or something, they'd make you take it off and put it in a pile of backpacks and everything, and you just go back into the theater and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And it was, like, seeing this guy with a backpack and, like, being as weird as he was when he was, like, finding a seat.
Yeah.
It was just so odd to watch. And I was just so, like, worried the entire time because he was being, like, so shifty. I was like, uh-oh, this is about to be another Dark Knight. But, it was really good to watch it in full without, like, any interruptions. And, like, man, it's just the settings are so great. Like, his apartment, the fucking, like, the library of all the information, Dave Bautista's home and stuff. All that's just really fun. Oh, and Deckard's daughter. Her, like, the way her room worked and everything when she'd create memories and stuff.
Yeah, I really liked the conclusion of it. Then the openness to the world that they built. With
right.
The sequel that you could have in mind with the uprising of the robots.
You could go for a sequel and stuff.
Yeah.
I love that.
I want the 4-hour cut, Jim.
Oh yeah, we talked about this. There's a 4-hour cut.
Yes.
We all want it, Joe.
Yes.
Maybe if enough people watch it, maybe we'll get it. It could be a whole Snyder cut thing where we could get the original film restored, Joe.
Hopefully.
And bring back David Bowie. We'll just we'll deep fake his face onto Jared Leto's. Get somebody to do an impression of him. We'll Corridor Crew Tom Cruise it.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's about all I've got, Joe.
Yeah, that's about all I got too.
You got any recommendations for people?
No.
No Oh.
I'm just kidding.
So you do have a recommendation?
Yeah, Resident Alien.
Oh, damn it.
Good watch.
I've been watching it. It's really fun. It's we should talk about that with the weeks and everything, but it's really fun. Alan Tudyk's amazing, and they just introduced a new character for Alan Tudyk to play off of. That's interesting to watch. Oh my god. The Sicario meme. I haven't watched it. I haven't looked at it yet, but just seeing the heads. I don't have anything to suggest. Oh wait, no, I do. as I suggest sometimes, I have podcasts, and I have one that I've been listening to that I talk about occasionally. It's a recurring recommendation, but it is the Story Break podcast.
Oh.
Where week by week they do a new film idea and create a whole movie off of it within an hour. And upon that time frame, they have to come up with a story, the characters, and what happens and the major plot points. And sometimes, very rarely, and only this time, in 2 scenarios, they find an idea they like so much that they will do scene by scene for the whole movie. First time was a dream one of them had called Heaven Heist, where they break into heaven to steal the ultimate amount of wishes to make themselves millionaires. And it's a really fun listen to. It's really fun commentary to hear with the writers. They're great comedians to listen to and everything. And recently they've come to a new idea that they had. It was one of their most popular of their first batch of episodes.
Yeah.
Jar Jar, a Star Wars story. This was around when Solo was releasing and everything, and like a Star Wars story was the most popular sort of like Star Wars idea.
Okay.
So they were doing Jar Jar and what that would be like, because they had done Greedo and stuff, and they've come back to it, and they're now doing scene by scene, and they're currently at part 9. Oh, that sneezed. Oh man, I'm gonna have to cut around this. Oh man, that was a real build-up one. Okay. Yep. And they're currently at part 9 of it, Joe, and they had introduced Qui-Gon's ghost as a character and a bunch of other funny plot points, like how the fact that Vader is only 22 at this point in the timeline, like near the end of Revenge of the Sith and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're just dealing with those sort of facts and how that would play into a fun Star Wars story, and the fact that Palpatine is probably scared of grappling hooks. It doesn't make sense just saying it offhand, but when you listen to the story, it's really fun to listen to.
Okay.
I suggest giving them a listen if you enjoy listening to writers be dumb idiots when making a story. They're really fun. And with that,
oh my god.
leave us... This was a really tiring one.
Yes, I had to watch all of the Ultimate Cut.
It is 3.5 hours long, I think. So it does make sense why it was cut down, but some scenes should have been kept. But as always, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We always like to see them. If you leave 5 stars, don't be afraid to say a little something. Let us know what you think of it. And if you don't leave 5 stars, still say something. We're always curious what you guys have to say. We always like the feedback and everything. And if you're watching on YouTube, for the visuals, you're probably going to notice that this is going to be lightly edited. That's because I'm trying not to take so much time per episode, as I've been warned by my co-host that I do.
I don't want to make a comment on that.
And if you're listening on Spotify, just share to a friend and everything. Word of mouth is always the best way to spread information about something. So let people know what you think of our podcast and that you might like it. Till next time, thank you all for listening, and goodbye. Say goodbye, Joe.
All right. Goodbye.